Hi, I'm David Kamite, and welcome to our first podcast, Voices That Impact. Today, we have a very, very special guest. I'm so honored and delighted to have Buket Agdere to join us on our very first podcast. I'm honored because Buket is a very, very special person. I met her a few years ago, and her intelligence, her warmth, and her background just really, really inspired me. And so I'm very, very pleased to have our first conversation with Bouquet and discuss many of the things that has inspired her career in the construction industry and how many of the things in her life has brought forward to where she is now. So thank you and welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. So, this is a conversation, and as we start our show, it's important to understand that what I feel about how Voices That Impact is going to be is we want to hear from the heart. And while we talked about or laid out some questions, what's important is your life experience from your heart. And we want our viewers to understand your journey, not from a textbook, but really what your life, how you got to be where you are today. So let's start with that,
Yeah.
right? Tell us a little bit about yourself, first and foremost. Tell the audience who you are.
My name is Buket, and then I came to the United States 20 years ago to be an engineer. That's how everything started. Honestly, I wasn't expecting me to be here today, but life takes you wherever you
Your journey.
your journey, right? Yeah, I went to NYU to do my civil engineering, and I do construction management there also. And then I happened to be find my first job to be in heavy civil construction, and I was ready for everything that is possible that life brings me. And I wanted to really have an experience, but I was so into bridges, tunnels, and all that. And then I started with the small contractor at that time, and got involved with the small construction, like from beginning to end, which led me through a lot of things to see from beginning to end, and then having that experience, seeing that creating the infrastructure that shapes everybody's life. It just kind of brought me kind of excitement, and then I realized how much I love it, and then I'm like, okay, this is what I want to do.
This is it.
Yeah, and this is it, and here I am today.
That experience with a small firm, how did that shape you? Because when I met you, you were involved in a very large project at Terminal 6, well over $3 billion. You were one of the project managers.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get into that experience at the small firm, how did that shape you? Were you thinking like, okay, this is what it is? Or did you envision that was a stepping stone towards a larger opportunity or being part of a larger project?
That's a very good question, actually, because if I start again today, going back, knowing the steps now,
Mm-hmm.
I would start where I started.
You would start where you started.
Yes.
Really?
The reason for that, and I would suggest, when I talk to young engineers today, new engineers, and I always tell them that what is really important for you to learn more and then get stronger in the industry. The reason why I'm saying that, a small contractor, you do a lot of things. You do everything.
You do A to Z.
You A to Z, and they're not scared to give you opportunity for you to actually do it, right? And then that time I was lucky, the owner of the company, that he believed in me, right? And I was blessed with that, and I still thank him today, very much so, because he has a very huge impact in my whole
In
career.
your journey, right?
Right. And then I started small, and then I got involved. They just said, you know what, go and build it. And then I was like, and I was so eager to learn and do things. And then, and I have so many ideas always. They tell me to do something simple as field report. And I bring new ideas, like bring new standards to that, whatever it is. And so it started like that. And then getting involved with small projects from beginning to end, you see everything. Because getting involved with big projects, it takes years, right?
Mm.
And then for you to be able to actually adopt and then know how project starts and ends, and then all this in middle, and then that kind of makes you to learn faster.
Right. So the experience in a small company with smaller project having A through Z, even though it was of not magnitude scale, it gave you a foundation.
Right.
It sounds like, right, towards
Yep.
towards the bigger project. Is that how engineering thinks about it?
Yeah, I mean, listen, one of the biggest thing that I wanted to be in the field, right?
You want it to be in the field? Okay.
Yeah, you need to be in the field. So like I was wearing my hard hat and then my boots. I was in the field every day under rain, 100-degree summertime, and then even at night you have to be there, and then you just literally see everything.
Did you, when you were going to school, did you envision that? Was when I think about engineers, I'm thinking about people who sit behind a desk and, these very thoughtful and very smart people that are designing things.
Right.
At least me, I didn't think about it that way. And did you envision that when you were going to school?
And you're not wrong, right?
Okay.
But my brother was in construction, so I had an idea.
Right.
Before I started. That's why I did my construction management minority at NYU. The reason for that, I wanted to, I was more into, I'm a very hyper person. Like I jump around and then I just,
You got a lot of energy, I can
exactly,
see.
Exactly. So because it fitted my personality, I actually meant to go to construction site, right? But you're not wrong. Yes, there are engineers. A lot of engineers, they go with the design with their
Right.
career, right?
Right.
And then some of us design, some of us build, and some of us, just like I did, a lot of times they design and build, right?
Right.
So but you have to understand also, if you want to be good in construction, also as an engineer, you'll have to understand the idea behind the design as well.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
If you don't understand the how material work, and then how formulas work, why you think moment connection is like shear connection and all that, you probably going to have hard time.
Right.
Like
Putting all the pieces together.
Of course.
Right.
And then think about it, like you're preparing out of ice, right? But you have to make sure that you also understand the problem, and then so you can bring the solution. So that's kind of work together. So.
Okay, so that experience gave you the foundation. And if we move now back to Terminal 6, $3+ billion project, and you were a project manager, and I'm just envisioning all of these moving parts relative to that. Did you have one particular area of focus within the terminal, or did you give the audience a sense of what a project manager or project management meant on a $3+ billion project? Share that so they can envision what you were doing there.
Yeah, of course. First of all, it's a privilege to work a project like that, right? Of course,
It's amazing.
Yeah. So, but you have to have the knowledge enough to understand how to lead, and then understand what is really construction is, to be able to lead a project.
Right.
Yes, I was project manager for underground utilities at JFK, and I have to really thank to everyone in the team. I work with amazing team from AECOM Hunt site, our designers and the people with the AECOM, and then everyone in the field, everyone was in the trench, and our subcontractors. Like, we really worked very synchronized way, and then we really communicate well, and then we managed to bring good output. JFK is a big project, and then he has like 3 different sites. One is the land site, which is like the bridges and then roadways and all that, and utilities mostly. And then it has a terminal site, which is the building terminal itself, and then it has air site where the airplane lands, right? So the whole thing, it's a whole project. So I was on the land side part. I was dealing with all underground utilities, which I always complained that you gave me the worst job ever because
They gave you the hardest part.
I mean, I shouldn't say that, but it needed a lot of attention. Like
Yeah.
I had to be in the field every day. Every day, and the site was big. I had to walk a lot and all that.
Wow.
But the great thing about it, I knew utilities, right? I did work on, I did estimating for a very long time, for especially in New York City. So I knew how to deal with utilities, right? I mean, I'm not claiming that I know everything about utilities, but I have a good understanding of it, so I can help design and then build it. And so that's how I got involved when they needed a project manager for underground utilities. And then it's fascinating because it's a lot of moving parts, especially in an active airport.
Yeah.
So airport has to function, the roadway has to be open, and then traffic shifting is not easy.
Yeah.
A lot of delivery to site, a lot of coordination.
Yeah.
A lot of coordination, like
A lot of communication.
yes.
And you were communicating with the other two project managers in the other areas, the terminal, as well as you the land guys, right? So
Land side.
land sides.
Yes.
Air
Yes.
side. I'm sorry. Yes.
So the air side is not usually that's something that I deal with, but of course you have to communicate and be in coordination with every single trade that is around the where we doing the work, especially the roadway. Like I'm gonna give you a general idea how utility work, right? The construction rate goes from bottom to top. Like you start
Right.
from the bottom and then you move top, right?
In your case, you started underground.
Right, underground, yes. And then the thing is, like, the first thing you do is, like, you move the utilities around. And then other structures come later, basically.
Right.
If you are in their way, you make everyone wait. They cannot get started. So that created a lot of stress on the team. And then the other thing is, design almost always fail with the utilities.
Right.
I don't remember one day that goes perfectly fine based on the design, because
Interesting.
you don't know what is underground.
Right.
Like anytime you dig, you find an issue. Like a lot of times it happens, right? I go to site, they're digging, everything is perfect. This time it's gonna work. Oh my God, no RFIs today, no fight today, no complaints today. The next thing you know, I turn my back, they dig extra 1 more feet. I'm like, you have to come. They find something.
Mother Nature says, "Here I am."
Yeah, not just Mother Nature. It's there are a lot of other utilities that are in the way. That's one. And then, unfortunately, Port Authority, I shouldn't say Port Authority, but in general, it's not easy to, as-builts are not really great for engineers to know what is in the ground.
Right.
And that, of course, that creates a lot of issues.
Right.
So with that way, just like I had to be there to see every single operation, to be able to keep up with the construction, because a lot of times we find issues, but we need to get it resolved as soon as possible, because then if you delay everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I go there, I identify the problem, and I go, and then I put everything together. We put RFI together, and then I go to designer now. And usually we give idea how to resolve the issue to designer. So designer is quicker that way. And sometimes, and a lot of times, you have to make decision in the field. That's a part of the design build.
Resolution, yeah.
Yeah, design build. This is exactly how design build work, right? And that's how the coordination and everything just move together.
How do you feel about that? Making the decision right there, and I'm like, us regular folks that drive and don't think about how these things came to be. I mean, I find it fascinating, bridges, tunnels, and all that. It's like, wow, how did they build that, and all that.
It is.
So when you're making that decision right then and there, how does that That must make me feel good if it's a good resolution that keeps it moving, huh?
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. So you get used to idea. You go to field. There's an issue, but you have to get it done or resolve it, and then usually we come up with solution, right? Especially we had a great subcontractor who like great. Um, we had a great project manager on that subcontractor side, and then he had a lot of knowledge. So, and then we sit together, we're like, okay, we should do this and then do that, and then maybe we should shift it that way, and then maybe that way, and then we come up with solution, right?
Right.
One thing I used to do, I used to call our lead engineer, senior engineer, and I'm like, this is a situation, I have to get this done, otherwise this crew, we have to send the crew out if we wait for the answer. And this is what the answer we think we have to do. And then he's like, okay, let's do that. And then we keep building it. Later on, we put everything together, and then we send it to the design that we put together, and then for their records.
Good, fascinating. Just moving on to a different area. So those who come behind you, young ladies, young girls that are thinking about different careers, you must be an inspiration to them. And I've been in the insurance construction business nearly 35 years now, and I've not had the pleasure of meeting many like you, trailblazer. So when you go back, when you think about your legacy, and there are many like you, I'm not suggesting you're the only one, what would you tell younger girls, younger women coming up the ladder, thinking about maybe medical school, maybe this, maybe that, and what this career is all about? Because it's very, very fascinating, right? To be building on major infrastructure projects.
Yeah, it's actually I wish I can have access to too many women that I can explain them what construction is, right? When women think about construction, it's obviously male dominated sector, right? And it's not so welcoming for women even today, unfortunately. If I can reach out to many women, I would love to say that there are opportunities for them, right? So many opportunities. They don't have to be engineer, right? Either they, like when they think of construction, either they think a trade worker that had a hammer and then or a shovel or something to do physical work, or they think they have to be an engineer to get involved with construction. But construction has a lot of different opportunities and then work that they can actually do. Like they can do safety representative. They can be a safety representative in the field if they know the direction, the right direction, that they have to get specific certifications and things like that. They can work in environmental construction right now, which like the government actually shifting and then making a lot of environmental and pollution and all that regulations are getting very firm, and then they need more and more environmental people to come into construction, and they can be like inspectors, right, which we at LOZIER we do, and then can explain them how they can be an inspector. They don't have to be engineer or trade work. Also trade work, right? I see now more and more women that are like considering to do trade work. Even I'm glad I'm glad that you asked that question because the reason for that, I am actually working on there is a vision that I have that I can explain to the more women, and also like I try to bring a lot of attention to this construction industry, that there is going to be a big shortage on the in
Labor
terms
force?
of yes, workforce.
Okay.
And especially it's rising right now, and it's going to be a big thing on 2030, right?
Right.
And it's going to be very serious. And construction is still booming, right?
Right.
And then unfortunately AI or any kind of technology is not going to make it super simple for construction, at least for a while, right? For a very long time. Robots are not there yet. And then, so just like you said, I want more women to understand that there are opportunities, and we need to get more and more. And then that way we're going to change the culture of construction, in being a woman in construction, and the culture will shift. I'm not blaming anyone to have a mindset of women are, women are not so much in this field, and this is not anybody's fault, right? But this became a culture, and then now things start changing, kind of.
Do you think that perhaps part of it in the past has always been, oh, that looks too heavy to lift, that they looked at it from a physical aspect standpoint?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. That's that's the conception that still a lot of women have, right?
Right.
That is
Right.
needs force to do, and you
But
have
there's so many other parts.
exactly so many other parts that they can get involved in.
Brilliant
they can
minds.
successfully do it, right?
Right. Right.
And so again, I'm trying to, like, with great ladies right now. We're trying to reach out to more women in this, and then explain them what construction is actually.
Yeah. Listen, there's some badass women out there, and like yourself, they're trailblazers, and many young women and young girls are inspired by you. And continue that work. You wanted to share a vision, though, of something else that you're doing. Do you mind just sharing that?
Yeah, just like I mentioned that it's still new. It's still an idea. We want to create a group of people that actually want to help more women to bring more women workforce in construction.
Oh,
And
you're having
have
a
them.
deep focus on it.
Yes.
Okay.
And I really want to do this, and that's one of my dream, let's
Okay.
say. And that's the thing that I want
You're
to...
giving back.
Exactly.
You're giving back. That's great.
Exactly what it is.
Well, when it comes to fruition, as it comes, I'd love to continue to promote it on this show.
I would love that.
Yeah.
And then we really need the support from, like, anyone.
Absolutely.
Like, it's just not like, don't think about women. It's just like it could be a sister, mother, or like, again, it can be a lot of. We want to reach out everyone that possible.
Whomever wants to do is what they should do.
Right.
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 And that's great. You're inspiring them.
They inspiring me also to do that.
Good for you. So before we move to what you're doing now currently, when I think about JFK and the work that I do in supporting small businesses, did you have the opportunity to work with a lot of small contractors, small businesses rather, particularly women-owned businesses and other minority-owned businesses at such a large site? And if so, what was that experience like?
Of course, I mean, JFK Terminal 6. I'm talking behalf of Terminal 6. Over there are like thousands of subcontractors
Right.
work for CM company. Yes, and they really, like, I'm proud with their work. Actually, they take minority program very seriously.
Good.
At JFK, yes, they did amazing job, and they cared.
Good.
And I seen it. And and that kind of gave me a lot of hope for small businesses also. But I don't know if every other companies are same as Acom Hunt. But definitely, I met with so many people, and they understand. The good thing is we understood they were small, like they are small companies, and
Right.
they're with the and then we try to understand how much workforce they have, how much they can do, how much all that, right? We try to understand, and we try to help them
Right.
while they do the work, because remember, if they fail, you fail, right?
Right.
So everything is just a teamwork.
Right.
At the end of the day, you bring one product on the table.
Right.
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 There's a terminal. Everyone can go in the terminal and fly safely.
Right. That's the product.
That's the product.
Right.
So, and everyone is in the same boat. So.
Right. And they're part of the dominoes.
Exactly.
Right.
100%.
When something goes down, it just affects everything. It affects the
100%.
schedule
100%.
and so forth. That's great to hear, and I love that you share the number thousands. I'm inspired to hear that. And
But still, I don't believe that we are there yet in terms of like population that
Right.
we have in New York City, and the numbers that are matching with enough minorities. And also, minority is not just a certification in my mind, right? It's also like they need a lot of help bringing small construction companies or any type, right, any trade to into the sector. The reason why I'm saying that they don't have capacity
Mm-hmm.
and getting involved with projects, right? So they need a lot of government help, like mentorship. I'm not just like not saying that just paperwork, right? They should be given opportunities to perform the work under certain mentorship. And also, I think what we are missing, giving them bonding capacity, kind of, and then train them in financial, how they take care of financial, just like you doing it, which I appreciate what you're doing. And I am sure that's helping a lot of companies, which is amazing. And NIPA did a great job with that as well. But I think we need to do more and more and more of that. Also, I think they need a little bit of help from the agencies that they can actually perform work, or maybe we can like, this is my idea, I don't know how possible it is, maybe like have them to joint venture for small trades and have them actually start moving and then understand how actually projects works, and then how they can get involved, and then they kind of measure themselves, right? And then the other thing is they're not financially strong. Working with government agencies, they get the money like month and a half later, and that actually creates like a huge burden on them, because
Oh yeah.
keeping up with the payroll and
Oh yeah.
that's actually very hard for them. So
Small businesses are banks when they're financing payroll for 60, 90, sometimes as long as 120 days. That's a lot.
that's a lot.
I have the opportunity, unfortunately, to see a lot of financials, and it's sad. And I think that's one area that can improve, because that within and of itself is capacity, right? In order for you to grow, in order for you to stay on schedule, you need working capital, and you
Right.
always need it today,
Right.
not
And
not
I
100 days later.
Yeah, and I think that actually it is possible that agencies can pay maybe every 2 weeks
Yeah,
to help them
yeah,
if they're minority, kind of a thing. I mean, there are a lot of things that we can do to help them, and then have more people, more small businesses coming into this construction sector. So
biggest area is finance.
finance, yes, but I
Biggest,
think that there are things that we can definitely do.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
not my call. But it just
no,
maybe
but you were involved in it, and you saw it, how it possibly affected the work,
right.
right? Because money touches everything, no matter how you look at it. It touches the labor. If you're asking for additional help on the weekend and someone can't pull from the hall or whatnot, it always flows back to that.
Yeah.
And no, but that's good to hear that that experience was good though. Let's switch over to a little bit about you and your continued future. You left JFK, and
Yes.
now you're at LOZIER,
Yes.
and you're vice president, right? So congratulations.
Thank you very
That's
much.
great. That's a recent move, right?
Yes.
And look how happy you are. That's great.
I am finally. I feel like where I need to be, right? And I work with amazing people, and the owner of the company, the president of the company, she's amazing.
That's great.
She's truly amazing. She's a true lady, and we work very well
Women-owned
together.
business.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And I am
See,
proud.
there you go.
Yeah, we two women.
Another trailblazer. Good.
Yeah, we really trust each other, and we work very well together.
That's awesome.
And
Very important.
yeah, no, this company is now my baby, I could tell. And then I can't wait to see this company grow,
That's awesome.
and then bring new, like, we're trying to create this culture that is so good that everyone is so happy, really, like, and this is something we want from with our hearts, right? And we want to have a company that ethically is so strong, that cares about people. And of course, now our first thing, we and her and I on the same page 100%, that we care about quality. right? And we want our partners, right, can trust us with closed eyes. So that's why we're working so hard, and I'm sure we're gonna get there.
I could see your heart
Oh
coming
yeah,
out of this.
100%.
That's
I am
that's
so happy.
that is great.
I am so happy.
And you're not gonna miss being out in the field with all the.
I am still gonna be in the field. Trust me.
But on a different side, you're
In a
running
different side, in the engineering side.
not engineering.
I understand construction. Now let's go. Yeah, no, I'm very excited. I'm very happy. Every day I wake up and I thank God.
That's great.
Yeah, no.
See, and again, I go back to young women, young ladies, young girls coming out, and they see a path, and I think you're very inspirational.
Yeah.
That's and most importantly, it's about how excited and how happy you are about going to work.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a lot of work.
It is. It is. I work a lot, but it doesn't feel like work.
Right.
I
Because
just.
you love what you're doing.
Yes. I work until I cannot work. That's what it is, literally. I'm like, I can do it 1 more hour. I have still energy. And then I'm like, no, okay, that's it. Time to sleep. But again, it's so great that I don't feel like it. And I just, the president of the company, Uzma, and I want to thank her from here, that being so amazing. She gave me this opportunity.
Great career path. So you're an immigrant, right?
Yes.
Born in Turkey?
Yes, I was born in Turkey.
Came
And
here.
very-
How old were you?
I was my early 20s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So most of your young adult life in
Yeah.
Turkey and assimilated into
Yeah.
the country and doing well,
Yeah.
responsible, and going to the next level. It's amazing story. I'm really
Yeah.
proud
I mean-
of you and happy for you as well.
I've been lucky. Let's put that way.
Well,
Like
you
things
make things happen.
like I was working for this company. I wanted to leave, and I'm like, should I leave? Should I just stay? Should I? All of a sudden, like I should leave, and all of a sudden, like everything just it's like
Fell into place.
yeah, it's just things happen, and yes, it happened, and I want it to happen, and I work hard for it. As soon as I got the opportunity, I was like, okay, this is my time to shine, and then
Good for you.
use your wings, you know.
I want to start closing out with, you mentioned AI. Obviously, it's in everyone's life now, in every aspect of our lives. What would you tell the younger crowd, the younger folks entering the field of the construction industry? Do you find it you mentioned robots before, but that's hopefully years away. Do you see it as a barrier, or do you see it as a potential helpful tool that will create different avenues? How do you see that?
Let's put it that way. So AI using technology, right? It's not just AI that when people think AI, they think they sit on the computer and they just put something that's AI.
Right.
That's part of AI, right? That's one function of AI to help us with RFIs or proposals or just presentations. So that's just one part, and I think it's not there yet 100% for construction purpose, and for a lot of purposes, right? You still have to be way smarter than AI to be able to use it in a right way,
Right.
in a correct way.
In a correct way.
Most importantly, AI used in technology is shaping construction. What I mean by that, BIM is getting huge, right? And then BIM is, and 4D scheduling actually, it's amazing, and I seen with my own eyes at especially JFK. I faced it. Like literally, you can see the field issues way before you start construction.
Wow.
This is a huge plus, and it's amazing. It saves you days, sometimes even like month of work. You just do it in hours, right? Which is big. And then documentation also, it's with AI used. It's very, very useful. The scanning, like laser scanning and then drone work is really getting amazing and very helpful. and it's getting even better. These are huge things for construction, right? But again, AI is not there yet. But what AI is going to do is it's going to get improved more in the future. And I think in the future, technology, like especially like when I think about it, right? When I see that even though like we're going to have a lot of workforce shortage in the future, which is real. And that upsets me that people still don't think about it because I did a big research. I was like very curious, and I'm like, let me do a research actually where we are right now with the workforce, and then really like because I know that's a big thing in Europe right now, and in many countries, and how bad it is in the United States. And I saw numbers that like real numbers, which I would like to share with you that the research that I did. It's actually on right now the average age in construction industry is 55. And
Ooh.
yeah, it's a big thing. People don't understand that yet until it becomes a real thing. And then they like a lot of people are getting retired, right? So that is kind of bringing a lot.
And
It's
the
gonna
bottom is not coming up.
not enough coming out,
Not
right?
enough. Yeah.
So that's something they need to build, right? So yes, AI is going to help to with this problem in the future that we're going to face with, but in a real trade work, right? At physical work, it's gonna push. This is kind of a wave effect of this problem in the future. So it's gonna help with technology to force actually construction to be more robustic in terms of like it's gonna be more modular construction kind of type, less worker, and then bring like more robustic and more modular structures into the
Right.
picture.
Right.
So
Putting puzzles together.
that's gonna be a big thing.
Right.
But yeah, technology is going to help with that. But that's down the
People
road.
will adjust.
Oh no, 100%, 100%. But at the end of the day, like I think it's still I believe that the workforce is going to be the biggest issue for
Yeah.
construction because the for the construction the AI is not going to catch up that fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
In my opinion.
So thank you for supporting our opening show.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
so glad to have and honored to have you. I think a portion of this has for the young ladies and young women out there very inspirational to see a successful woman that's happy in what she's doing.
Yes.
not just
Very
not
happy.
just successful monetary, but success means that you love what you do and so forth. And it's great. And again, congratulations on your new role and
Thank
your new
you so
job
much.
and your new chapter.
Yes.
And I'm sure there's many more chapters to come. So, for our audience, thank you for watching. We plan on having many more inspiring folks like Buket on the show. Not sure they can live up to you, but let's see what happens there. And so keep checking this out. We want to bring to our viewers not just people with executive titles. We'll be sharing this stage with other small businesses to share their perspective on how they're coming up, their challenges, the barriers that they face, and some of the strifes that you went through. So I think you'll inspire them as well. So thank you. Good night.